start now.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello classmates and instructor, my name is Sean, and the topic of the discussion today will be on abortion and how having access to abortion increases affluence. And when I say affluence, I mean the ability to have money. And it increases affluence in three different ways. First off, it increases the financial stability within a couple's, single parents, or non-parents' life. Second, it increases the ability to complete an education. Third, just simply raising a child just is extremely expensive. So on the first topic, how abortion increases financial stability, abortions reduce the amount of money a person needs to spend within their life. Take into consideration these hypothetical situations. The first one is a family of three, a mother, a father, and a child. So this family, they have enough money to raise the child, but suddenly an unplanned pregnancy comes into their life. And they realize, they start asking questions, how much money is it going to cost to raise another child? How much money it will cost to feed them, entertain them, put them to school, etc., right? An abortion will be able to help get rid of this unplanned pregnancy and thus increase the affluence of the family. The same can go on with a single person who is not a parent. The single person who has an unplanned pregnancy can ask the same questions and can thus use an abortion to increase the affluence so they can have more money in their life. Barbara Crusoe, writer of The Humanist, states, reducing poverty requires cutting population. And one can interpret this as a way to increase affluence because abortions, as stated before, it increases the amount of money, decreases the amount of money you have to spend in your life, and so that's what abortion would do. On to our next topic, abortions increase the ability to complete an education. For example, college students will be able to complete their education without having to worry about raising a child, paying all the resources it needs to raise that child, and they can use that money instead to pay for their tuition, their housing, and any other school costs that they need. As research done by the Alan Guttmacher Institute, which is a nonprofit organization that works to advance sexual and reproductive health, state that the 3/4 of the women who have abortions state that having a baby would interfere with work, school, or other responsibilities. And 50% of women who are obtaining abortions are less than 25. And that means that they are within our age group, and that implies that they're in college right now, trying to get a degree, trying to graduate, stuff like that, and trying to make a career. Because when I say increase in education, that implies that in today's society, that education leads to power, to a job, to a career, and that thus increases affluence because you get money through a job and career. And these statistics that I'm giving you right now, such as the 50% of U.S. women obtaining abortions are under 25, they are from within the fact that on average, about every year, 1.2 million abortions happen in the U.S. Okay, and on our last topic here, raising a child, as I said before, it costs a lot of money. And just thinking about it, giving birth alone leads to extremely high medical bills. Tina Cassidy, an ex-reporter for the Boston Globe, states that giving birth in a hospital can range from $8,000, and this is just with like a regular vaginal birthing, to $11,000. That's with a cesarean section or a C-section. And the cost of raising a child is extremely steep. Like imagine raising a child from birth to 18 years of age. 3/4 of the women who have abortions say that they cannot afford having a child, and this is reported by the AGI, or Alan Guttmacher Institute. And Les Carpenter, writer for The Voice of America, states that the cost of raising a child in America can be from $200,000, and if you adjust that price to inflation, it can be around $290,000. That's roughly $300,000 just to raise a child. And that's a lot of money. Now, if we were to relate that cost to, say, an abortion, in 2009, the average cost of a non-hospital abortion with local anesthesia at 10 weeks of gestation was about $451. And when I say non-hospital, I mean like clinics such as Planned Parenthood, things like that. Cost $451. And this is reported by the AGI. Compare that cost between $300,000 to raise a child or $451 to get rid of an unplanned pregnancy. if you think about it, that really increases the amount of affluence you have in your ability to hold. So that's a lot of money. So, in conclusion, I hope you all can agree with me that having access to abortions will increase the ability to, your affluence. Thank you for your time.
All right, the proposition is labeled at the beginning. Your phrasing is a little bit problematic because you're going to tell us how something is working, which doesn't sound like it's a claim. It sounds like it's an informative speech. You actually do have declared a sentence in there, but it's just the way it's introduced that makes it a little bit problematic. The setup of the secondary claims, though, was very clear, and your internal signposting on those was fine also. You're kind of dependent on some hypothetical examples on the first point. You had one good quote on that first point, but it was talking more about population and affluence rather than individual affluence. So I think that that's also something that invites some investigation by the refutation speaker, because in the long run, you're making a comparison about what the on-balance costs are going to be, and we never get a discussion of what the potential positive costs are. For example, your return on investment, right, when you have a kid, and that doesn't become part of the discussion. I like the, you had some statistical data about the age group that has abortions, but I don't know that any of it is directly related or has any specific link to education levels. You just are identifying an age group as opposed to whether or not anybody is forced to drop out of school or not able to complete their degree. They give those as reasons. It would be interesting to know, for example, of the 50% of the women who are under 25 who get this, and 75% of them say it's a cost burden, if they are in fact enrolled in college. I don't know if there's any data on something like that. That would make your argument a little bit stronger there. On the presentation issues, you're not always smooth when you're delivering the issue. Sometimes there's a little bit of hesitancy and awkwardness getting from one idea to the next, but you do a nice job talking to the audience and making contact with us. That adds to your credibility quite a bit. All right, thank you.